How did you choose a set to tour?
Well, we knew that we were going to play Fauna in its entirety, so that was a given. We wanted to make it a special show, didn't we? We wanted to make it the longest show we've ever played. So we wanted to end set one with something epic. So we went with
Crystallized.
We did.
But we couldn't decide whether to have Visions or Crystallized there, but we settled on one.
For a while it was Visions, then it was Crystallized, then it was Visions. It's an epic way to end set one. Then in set two we just went for some of the fan favourites and a few that we'd never played
before. We wanted to have something from every album to represent everything, and then throw in a load of epics and just make it quite a maxed out set list. But it seems to have gone down well. We have a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah, because we released Virus at the beginning of the pandemic, and then we never really got a chance to play a bunch of those tracks. So playing The Strain and Canary Yellow has been a lot of fun. In fact, for me, Canary Yellow's been my favourite, to be honest.
Nice live. I think we've now played everything from Virus, basically.
I feel like
over the last two tours.
That's everything now.
How did you prepare for doing a 3-hour set?
Well, we didn't sleep for 3 months.
There was new stuff for all of us. The rest of Fauna was new. As you say, Strain and Canary Yellow was new. But a lot of the back catalogue was new for me as well.
Pretty much most of it was new for you, and like the few that done in Fauna.
Cockroach and Elbow Mouth and 1985 actually we played before. But there was a lot of new stuff, and there's a lot to learn notes wise, and there's not always stems, and sometimes that's a bit of work and takes some transcribing. And I had like 1,000 sounds to design, to program. And we're doing a long set, so part of the preparation thing is also making sure, because I run everything off my laptop with SoftSense to make sure CPU-wise it handles it well, which I did a lot of work on this time and everything's been very smooth. Yeah, I had to start about 4 months early. Alongside my job, I had to just have a huge mega list of to-do and slowly start getting through things over the 4-month period. It was a slog, but it was
It's
good.
a crazy process. You've just got to keep playing the songs over and over, program it into your muscles to the point where you're not really thinking about playing. And
because it all changes when you're on stage anyway. Suddenly
you get to the first show and all of the prep that you've done just
goes out the window,
and then you're just there dealing with the anxiety of playing in front of a load of people suddenly out of nowhere.
And it sounds very different in your ears suddenly when you're on stage in a different room.
Everything feels different. The drums are louder. Yeah. You can't hear certain instruments on certain cues that you're used to hearing, and it all falls apart. But then you quickly get used to that environment over a few shows. You get into the flow of things. On this tour I brought back the keyboards, so that was part of the prep for me, because the last time I played keyboards was over 5 years ago. It's been a while, so going back into that whole world and learning how to get my keyboard to communicate with the laptop, all of these things were part of the prep for me. But especially for you, man, it's a mammoth task learning 3 hours of music.
It just definitely required a more methodical approach compared to some of the past ones where we're like, now we're adding these songs. Now it was like, I need to project plan this in advance to make sure everything gets done on time. But we all got there, and it's been good.
It's also crazy how you can play the song maybe 4 months ago and it just goes out of your brain because you're learning new songs, and you still have to go over and over and over the songs. You never quite get it in there permanently. You have to always go over the old song fresh.
What's different with this tour compared to the average tour?
Well, for a start, it's an evening with, so it's only us playing. Usually we'll have a support band or a package even, so maybe 2 support bands. Yeah. So it's just been us, and as a result we're playing a longer set. We're playing two sets with an interval, which we've never done before. We decided to make it a seated show for that reason, because it's such a long time to stand up. So it's been a different vibe, isn't it?
I think that's also the vibe of the day. We're the only band in the venue. Yeah. So it just feels quite chilled in that sense. There's a lot of space backstage. It's just us. We often have a dressing room each. It's very different to when there's a 3-band bill. So that side of it's nice, but I guess you also, on the flip side, you don't get that socialising with other bands. And it feels like a tour for the fans. Really, the people coming to 3 hours of Haken music are going to be big Haken fans. So it very much felt like a tour for them. But it's been great to play so much music, to be honest.
I think maybe going to the tour, we were a little bit apprehensive about the set length. We're going to be able to do 6 days in a row of playing 3 hours every night. But I think, just to chime in on what you said about there not being any support act, there's a lot more time to decompress in the day and just to relax and go for walks, clear your head, which means when you get onto the stage, you're in a better mental state to be able to just plough through the show. And we haven't really, it's been fine. We've all been doing well every night. I'm not really fatigued. We're on the final day of the tour now. And yeah, I think we've all been in good health and it's gone really well.
What's been your favourite moments of tour, whether it's a gig or just maybe something you've done?
Well, we've basically done everything together.
Yeah. That's always happens.
Every day. We'll wake up and go, should we go and buy some protein from Walmart? Should we do it together? So we always end up doing the same thing. We'll work out.
We just have a similar rhythm on tour. I think that's why it happens. Wake up at the same time and we want to, well, you are usually earlier than me. We want to exercise and eat eggs and find protein shakes with the maximum amount of protein in it.
Exactly. So we've been doing loads of things together. But the one thing probably that sticks out to me was in Las Vegas.
Surely, the Tournament of Kings.
Tournament of Kings.
Yeah, that was like, we all went as a band to a show in Vegas. We had a day off there and saw this great sort of like medieval reenactment jousting type.
It was great.
Completely over the top with like pyrotechnics and we now want to include that in Haken.
It was so much fun. I play a lot of D&D when I'm at home. It felt like I was just in a D&D campaign for a moment there.
It was amazing.
And then we were getting flagons of mead delivered to the table. It was a good night.
It was a strong start. So yeah, it was definitely a highlight. And that was my first time in Las Vegas as well. So
yeah, actually, just being in Las Vegas in itself was
very entertaining.
It's a crazy place. It's so vibrant. There's so much like energy there and so much going on that it's not a place I'd live, but it's good to have a day off there. I'd say.
What music do you listen to on your downtime and tour? Or do you listen to music on your downtime and tour?
So little now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to listen to so much music, and now, well, we're touring so much. If you're touring or writing, and both those things, for me personally, don't make me want to listen to music because like my brain just doesn't want. It'll do other things. It doesn't want to hear music. So I listen to so little music now, and then I have these bursts in between stuff where I need inspiration, and then I listen to music quite intensely. And it tends to be in the electronica world, like different types of electronic music, whether it's ambient or dance music, and also it's like modern jazz as well. Not that much rock and metal, to be honest.
Yeah, ironically,
indie.
It's surprising how little like progressive metal we actually listen to as a band. And just like Pete, because we're exposed to music all day, every day tour, that's probably the last thing you want to do when you're in your kind of own moments. Although, we said that, Everything.
Great new album.
They had an album out last week, and that's a great new album.
I guess that's when we do listen to it, when we're obviously together at the gym.
Usually holding hands.
We're at the gym. Well, have you heard the new album? Yeah, I'll put it on now.
That was cool.
You were listening to the new Jacob Collier,
which I know you're a big fan of Jacob Collier. That album was incredible. I mean, it was great to see Arch Echo on there as well. They're our old touring buddies from
last year.
From the last tour we did in the US, and they made their way onto the album somehow, which is incredible to see. But aside from that, you're probably the same as well. I'll listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, mostly. Like when I'm exercising or anything, I'd rather listen to a podcast. Or on a long run even. I prefer that to
it helps you
these days.
Kind of engages you more so than music sometimes. Yeah. So Rick Rubin, Tetragrammaton. That's it. That's what I've been listening to. It's really good.
Are there any restaurants that you have to visit when you're in North America?
Well, there's one we have frequented quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it rhymes with Chipotle.
I think we may be hitting new record this week, having like 5 Chipotles in a row.
Yeah, I mean, it's in our heads, we're kind of justifying it by saying I think it is healthy.
It's not too bad.
I think it is
Especially,
healthy.
Like if I get the bowl and I don't get the wrap, it's not too bad. We get a lot of Chipotle on tour.
See, we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
sure it isn't healthy. It can't be.
I think it's fine. It's rice and beans and...
Yeah, so Chipotle.
We can't be sat here promoting IHOP as like a must-go.
I know. Okay, let's be honest. Best restaurant in Toronto.
That was great.
That was incredible. We went to a wicked place.
Last night, though.
Yeah, the Cafe Jerusalem.
Oh, for lunch.
Yeah.
In, where were we? Asheville, North
Carolina.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise. We went
there for lunch just on a whim. Incredible sort of
platter, vegetarian platter.
Amazing, yeah.
Some hummus, falafel.
But generally, we just look for somewhere that's, because we're both vegetarian and Ray is vegan, so we're just looking for somewhere that sells whole foodie, healthy protein.
Maximum protein.
Food, and that's what we seek when we get off the bus.
No.
And sometimes that is just Chipotle because that's nearby and we love it.
But there are amazing places.
One of my favourite bits when I come to the US though is like the food. You know, there's just so many good places to eat.
There's loads of places that sell bowls, far more than like the UK. So it's always good.
How do you decompress on the tour?
I think for us the big one is exercise.
100%.
And everyone has their own thing. I think some people like to rest or go exploring. Sort of like they like to go off on their own and take a long walk or go to the shops or whatever. But I think we both exercise whenever we can. You obviously run a lot. I run sometimes.
Yeah.
I go to the gym and we do a bit of both of us.
Well, especially on this tour, because
Training.
I'm training for a marathon. So yeah, like I'm right in the core part of the training. So some of the runs have been ridiculous. But to be fair, you've been doing some really long runs as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
and every off day when we have a hotel, we go to the gym. I don't know, for me, it's obviously the same for you, isn't it? After we exercise, I feel more alive and better than if I didn't do anything. So.
And I feel like it helps my sleeping patterns as well. So by the time you get to 1 a.m. or whenever it is, if you've had a run or a workout in the day, I'll just hit the bed and just pass out straight away. Whereas if I haven't, I'm sometimes just lying there.
Yeah, so that's definitely our number one.
I do a bit of reading as well. Usually kind of like fantasy books, so I can just escape from whatever I'm doing. You've been reading some stuff as well on this tour. Okay, ignore that.
Yeah, we cut that podcast. Yeah, I haven't read anything.
Usually it helps me to get sleep, so I'll maybe spend like 20 minutes, 30 minutes reading before I go to bed, which is like part of my routine. I feel like it tells my brain that I'm ready to go to bed. If I haven't got my books there, I'm screwed. I'll just be like lying there like that.
My nighttime routine is I scroll Instagram for like cute animals, and I find some ducks, so I find some otters that I'm friends with at capybara, and I just look at that until I'm sleepy, and then I go to sleep.
And then my morning routine is I wake up and I scroll Google Maps for protein. then
I join him as soon as I'm up.
And then I message Peter
That's our
to have some protein.
We've had a really amazing time on this tour, to be honest. It's been great shows, great people, like really great fun playing on music. So thanks to everyone who's come out and supported us. It's really been one to remember for me, especially. I've loved it.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a long show. We appreciate people coming out, and the feedback we've had from it has been incredible. It's only been positive words that we've seen. We can't thank you enough for the support over the years. And it feels great to come out here on our own, play an evening with, and have so much support.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time, whenever that is. We can't wait to see you next time. Let's try again.
That's great.